Musicians who provide the soundtrack to the city's famous streets are asking for fair pay. A prominent union says as Nashville continues to grow, what those Honky Tonk musicians are getting paid is not growing. News Channel 5's Jason Lamb has this story new at 10 for us. And Jason, those folks mostly get paid in tips, right?
Yeah, that's right, but the Nashville Musicians Association says that may not be enough. They say while more bartenders and clubs are down here making more and more money, they say oftentimes musicians are not.
On any given day, the sounds of Nashville's honky tonks spill out onto Lower Broad. But now the union that represents many of these musicians is crying foul over what they're getting paid.
In the clubs in Lower Broadway is what created that tourist demand. And unfortunately, it's kind of an inverse relationship in that they create the demand, yet they are paid the least of all of the folks that work down on Broadway.
Dave Pomeroy with the Nashville Musicians Association says musicians may get a base pay of around $30, but the rest is tips.
The better you are at soliciting tips, the more money you can make, which is really counterintuitive to musicians who just want to perform their craft and be paid fairly for it.
Pomeroy says as Nashville continues to bring in more tourists, musicians who bring in the crowds aren't profiting, even as club owners are.
They're making more money than they've ever made before, and it's time to share the wealth, just a little bit of the wealth.
Some club owners who wouldn't go on camera say some bands can make $600 or more a night, but Pomeroy says that isn't always the case.
There are some clubs that make a real effort to treat their musicians fairly, but there are far more that don't.
Pomeroy says he'll continue to push for fairer wages for musicians downtown because he says the tips sometimes just don't cut it.
The Nashville Musicians Association says one reason why it's so difficult for bands to ask for more money from club owners is because there are so many other bands that want to play in these honky tonks. Reporting live downtown tonight, Jason Lamb, News Channel 5.